Hello my dear Gemini, this is your love and spirituality reading for the mid-month of July 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. You can see a list with the order I read for the signs in at the community section of my channel. And I read for the signs in order of most liked videos, so then don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for your sign. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting and subscribing to my channel. I'm so grateful for all of your appreciation. The reading can go both ways. The message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person in the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. For this reading, I used the Osho Zen Tarot by Deva Padma. I have been using it since 1995, and many of you have asked how I have learned to read tarot in the way I do, and this deck has been my main source of inspiration. It is working with the wisdom of Zen and can be used together with cards with Zen stories to get an even deeper knowledge of your situation. I will make a short 5-card spread for you to make it more digestible. And now I'll start shuffling your cards. So, my dear Gemini, when I open your deck here, I see 8 of Swords, guilt, and 9 of Wands, exhaustion. So, 8 of Swords, it's a situation where you and yourself is kind of out of line. If this is your soul, you are kind of here, outside here. You can't accept yourself. And you're looking at yourself with the eyes of an outside world. So you are not, you can't love yourself, you can't respect yourself, you can't align with yourself. So what you need to do is to stop thinking and put yourself here, together with the feelings, the true you, who you really are. And start with the work of acceptance. I accept that I'm like this. I accept that I feel like this. I accept that I don't like this. I accept that I like this. And just start to get to know yourself, because when you're out of whack like this, you try to use the judgment of the world, like, how do you see me? Do I look nice in this dress? Should I go to that school? Should I go to this school? Should I do that? Should I do this? When you do that, you don't know yourself, and when you ask for other people's opinion or look for approval in their eyes and things like this, you will drive yourself crazy, because you can't make like several billion people happy. You need to make yourself happy, okay? And with the exhaustion, 9 of Wands here, you have tried very, very hard to please everybody, and who you need to please is of course yourself. This is actually the song that came for Leo the other month. Maybe I will put it in the description box for you. We'll see. Maybe it's coming another song for you as well. Of course, when we feel guilt about something, maybe with the 9 of Wands here, sometimes life has treated us badly in how we feel, so we can like put up a great facade of being indestructible, and we can do things when we are in that personality that's not particularly nice, and then we will feel guilt, and the guilt is there for a reason to wake you up, because 9 of Wands it's when we ourselves have become hurt, we put ourselves in a position of when no one can hurt us, and we become cold and detached, and we say we don't care. And when we act like that towards the people that actually love us, we betray them, and that betrayal might cause some kind of guilt as well. So you might be in an impossible situation where you feel you are too exposed, you're too vulnerable, and you can't show the love, and that means that you're losing loved ones around you as well. But it can also be someone doing this towards you. They are unreachable, you can't reach them. You know that there's love between you two, and you would like to solve your problems, but you can't, because they have put themselves in this kind of position where they are unreachable. So they're just hurting themselves and not loving themselves and not accepting themselves, and thinking that the world is against them, and therefore you can't talk with them. It's like talking to a wall, okay? Because they are so intangible and inside their own problems and the way they view the world, so you can't can't speak sense to a person like this. You can say I love you and they will take it like I hate you, and not so much you can do about that. You can just say your truth, and the filter that your truth goes through and ends up with them, you can't do anything about that. So you can just be you. Okay, so I call the divine, and here we have politics together with exhaustion. So 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords. It's typical Gemini cards. Gemini have, it's like you have two personalities. It's not like for everyone, but it's like you have a very rapid mind, and it can see things from 10,000 different positions. So it can drive you crazy just to have all this information. And so if, for example, if you want to do something, you have a dream, you can see 10,000 reasons to why this won't work out, and that is going to put yourself in a position where you don't have any self-esteem, and you won't try to reach this dream of yours because it's already, you have calculated that it's impossible, so it's not going to happen. And you have totally forgotten about miracles and about the divine and nature. Nature is a wonder, how everything is adapted to survive and to reach its full potential. So you're forgetting about that. You just see all these rational things and dig, okay, this is impossible, I give up. So it's making you very human, very aligned with the human mind that we have today, where we only calculate with math, and if it's not, the math is not working out, it's not true. So and it's still true because because there's more to life than just reason and logic. I believe in math. I'm a big math. I love math in many ways, and I love logic. So I don't have any Gemini in my chart, but I identify rather much with your personality, because my mind works in this way too, and it might make me very suspicious to new things. I have also very different personalities, because I'm also very naive, but I'm also very suspicious. So it's typical Gemini actually. And here with the 7 of Swords, it's like you have one truth, but you're not revealing it to the public. Because of the 8 of Swords, you think that they will judge you for it, your truth. And it might be so. We can see this sometimes with people that wants to take advantage of other people. If you want to have a girl into your bed, you say you love her and it's not true. That's a way to, if you would say exactly what you wanted, well, I just want to ravage you for this night, but I don't want to be with you forever, it probably wouldn't work out. Okay, the girl would say no, and she will walk away. So some people feel entitled to do these kind of things, and breaking people's heart as they go. And this is the kind of the thing that happens. The other person that gets tricked is becoming afraid and exhausted, and start to live more and more in their own bubble, and don't want to go out in the world, because in the world they only meet two-faced people that says one thing but means another thing. So it's like Little Red Riding Hood story here with the wolf that wants to make her calm while he steals her stuff. Okay, so it doesn't have to be sex, it doesn't have to be money, it can be your dignity, it can be someone just wants to win over you with words, so you are doing this to them. But here the whole game here is exhausting. So one thing we need to do, we need to become sharp. Sharp enough to listen to our own source of wisdom, our subconscious, our feelings, our own logical mind, and align with that, so that when the big bad wolf comes, we don't even let him like close to us. We take our helicopter and hoover away from that situation and say bye bye wolf. So, and then there's no problem, because you listen to your natural instincts that told you with every bit of your being that there's a wolf present and I shouldn't trust this person, so you don't. But sometimes you, well, I should, because this person is good looking and is very charming and I'm feeling attracted to this person, but all your other alarms clock is screaming, no, something is wrong with this situation. and you need to listen to it so you don't put yourself into traumatic situation that makes your soul like a little bit bruised and bumped. Okay. So it's not an evil person, this. It's just a person believe that they can't be loved for who they are. Maybe they go out and have sex with random girls, or wants to win every argument or steal your stuff because they don't feel that they have any of this on their own. Sleeping with girls, it's like stealing things from nature. It's natural resources, it's riches. So by stealing it, you admit to that you don't have it. This is what the girls have, and you want to have it. But you could have it if you go to your own feminine side and find God inside of there. You don't have to be the stallion of the block. You can just tap into your own inner world and find whatever you want there. And this could be the end of all wars if people started to love themselves and find God within and wisdom within. So, with this long speech, I forgot where I was. So I say, I've called the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And we have nothingness, nothingness, and exhaustion here. When we find ourselves, we don't need outside things to make us happy, okay? So the girl doesn't need the boy's attention, the boy doesn't need to steal her stuff, and everyone is happy, okay? And when we feel inner peace, we become very grounded, rock solid, okay? Like the hermit, number 9. He withdraws from people so that he can take away all the noises on the outside and find himself. And then he find his rock bottom, and from this position you will be able to be very clear and very conscious, and in your meeting you will listen very closely to yourself because you have been alone, your antennas are sharp, and you are going to know if this is someone you want to be with or not. And life is going to become more easy because you are more authentic. It doesn't matter if the other people are more authentic, you listen to you. You are in this state of nothingness. You don't sacrifice yourself for outside situations. You don't you don't smudge your soul with things that your soul can't take without becoming traumatized. Oh, so it can be an awful job also. Going to a job and your whole body is screaming no every morning, until you decide you go into the hermit stage, and after that you will be more sensitive and you can never ever go back to that kind of job again. And then you're freed, because then you're going to find yourself and do your own thing, starting your own company maybe, and doing something that doesn't take so much time, maybe also downsides how you spend your money so you don't need as much, and you will become a free individual, like a free rebel. Rebel forces. May the forces be with you, Gemini. So I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today. It was just the 8 of swords jumping, and now we have also the star, silence. Yes, the divine wants to talk with you. So away with your mind, away with your rational thinking. Find your inside, your stillness. When you are alone, you can talk with yourself, and through talking with yourself you talk with God, because you are the same. Yes, the forces are with you, Gemini. That's good news, yes? So I want a clear view reading for my dear Gemini viewers. I want my dear Gemini viewers to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. Nothingness, the outsider and the master. Okay, so if you're being shouted out by people, take this time to become the master. I don't mind what happens, okay? Accept any loss and don't care anymore. They can shunt you out as much as they want. You're still this, okay? And here, inside of here, you have direct connection with everything. So you don't need the social situations. You don't need approval from the guys looking at you or the girls giving themselves up to you. You don't need this. You can go straight to the source and become a whole person, content. It doesn't mean that you stop dreaming at all. It doesn't mean this. It just means that you become more in tune with yourself. Your antennas become more sensitive, and you will know as soon as you walk into the door in a situation if you want that situation or not. And as soon as a word is being said, you are going to react to that and know what kind of direction to take. So you will be actually super smart in a way that your rational mind could never be. So I want you to find yourself in loving relationship. I also want you to have creative success and be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. It's a struggle to keep the cards in the deck while I shuffle. They want to jump like small frogs. So I'm just going to tune in for a few seconds to you, Gemini, and your energy. Okay. So my dear Gemini, this is your reading there. And underneath here we have ripeness. It's the 9 of coins, so it's another of the 9s. You have the 9 of wands coming a lot, and it's a fire hermit. It's like the spiritual journey where the hero walks alone. And ripeness is where you start to understand what your true needs are, and that is coming from you polishing your antennas so they are bright and awake, and it really fragile and really like they can sense everything, and then you will be able to walk out in the world and know exactly what you like and what you don't like, what you want, what you don't want, what you tolerate and what you absolutely don't tolerate. So you become a grown-up by this, and you have fought in your feelings all along, trying to conform them to working in those situations which you wanted them to work, in the relationship that was not for you, or in the workplace that was not meant for you, and you tried and you tried, but here you kind of give up to the divine forces and become grown up in the process, really taking responsibility for how you feel and what you want, being able to feed yourself in the future for real, like with things that you really need instead of the things that you thought you need, and that was kind of distraction from who you really were and what you really wanted. So this is you, and this is your past, and this is your future. This is past of the person or the circumstance that you're in, or the divine forces, how they have been trying to help you on your spiritual journey here, and this is the future of the same. So here we have you, and this is completion. So you're coming to a place where the last piece of the puzzle is being put down here, and you are solving thousands of years of karma. You have been doing so good, Gemini. You have been reaching a point which you were destined to reach, and you were able to do it, and it's like you have gotten a diploma for work well done. This is talking about you walking your highest path towards your highest destiny, and why you can do this is because you have been so fragile that you now know when you are being fooled in a situation and not. So you can be, you trust yourself fully. This also shows that all these people that have done awful things to you, or rubbed you the wrong way, or made you feel uncomfortable, or stole your stuff, or whatever they did, you can be grateful for them, because they are the reason to why you woke up like this. So you put them there. It was predestined that they would be there so that you could wake up. So you had agreements, be here for me at this time. So be grateful for your adversaries, for they have helped you to reach this point of excel. It's like you're excelling in something. It's very beautiful. It's talking about soulmate relationships, soulmate connections, big cycles of time. You have worked for something for eons, and now it's completed. You finally made it, okay? You finally did it. It can be closure also, a big closure. Things that have tormented you for a long time is not longer there to be an issue for you. And this is in the past, and we have isolation in the reversed. So you can see this is a person being immersed in ice, a person that have just kind of endured the circumstances and tried to cool down their emotions so they wouldn't make a sound. Okay, sound of silence. Well, okay. So that you would endure whatever situation you were in. But with this in the reversed, this is no longer the case for you. You are no longer going to silence your sirens, your intuition, your feelings, your antennas. It's not like you're breaking them off anymore and just say, be silent with you, because I need to endure this situation. I need to tolerate it. I need to not be sad. I need to not be worried. I need to not feel like I want to go home. I need to not feel this. I don't want to feel like this. I need to conform. And then one day you said, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to save myself. I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to follow my own intuition. And the divine says, good. Now you're finally with us. Now you're walking with God, being kind of an angel on earth, doing the thing that you were supposed to do all the time. But when you were born here, you conformed to human rules, and you forgot about God. And now you have found her again inside of you. Your body is direct connection with the rest of the universe, the big womb. Okay, and here you have your future, and they will have projections. These traumas that you have in the past, because this is real heartbreak that you have been through, they have left a pattern within you. So when a person comes and say, I love you, you might not be able to hear them, okay, because of so much lost past trauma. When they say, I love you, you have had a person earlier that said that they love you, and then they took their stuff and they left you and your mother, for example. So when someone says this to you now, you don't believe them, and you might immediately stop feeling feelings for them and think, to hell with you. You are not trustworthy, and this is your projections, and it comes from this past. So this is what you still have to deal with, that the reality that you feel might not always be the reality. And then we are kind of back to square one, because this was the reason to why you called it down, because you didn't want to have these kind of projections. But what you can do instead now with this new wisdom of yours is to say, okay, I hear that you say that you love me. It's freaking me out. It feels like now everything is lost. Like now I have lost you. I don't trust the words, I love you. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with you. This is just how I feel. And if you are with the right person, then they will say, okay, so no, I love you, but I take it back. And we will talk about this, and eventually you will heal, and you will be ready to hear these words from me, because I really mean them. And I mean you no harm, and I'm going to be here for you. And then you know you're with the right person. If they say, hey, you're crazy, so I forget, I don't love you, then you can say, you don't have to have those kind of people in your life. You need support right now. You need people that actually can understand you in the depths and not get intimidated by how you feel. And you will not get intimidated by how they feel. When they say, well, I feel I'm smothered, I feel like this, we are seeing each other too often. You can talk about this. It doesn't have to mean that you need to see each other less. It's just a fear. It's just a projection, because they have been smothered, or have too much responsibility from an early age, or something else that have made this being in this way. So it's about understanding each other, even if you are scared to death. Okay, you are so scared, and you believe that something dangerous will happen, even if in a situation where everything is actually perfectly all right. But when you find a person where things are perfectly all right, finally you have the stage to reveal your hurt and to give them the possibility to heal. When you can be open and vulnerable with someone like this, it's a gift from that person, and it's a gift from you also to that person to be able to share that kind of vulnerability. Is true commitment, it's true intimacy. So it's very beautiful. But if you don't find this with the 7 projections, it can sometimes be that every person you meet is the same kind of person that once hurt you. You just need to use the law of repulsion. Say no, 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 until universe sends you something else. Because when you have said no to this, you say no, you stand on your own side and you say no to injustice, and you say that you are worth something more, and that changes what the universe brings back to you with the law of repulsion. So say no to anything you don't want, and be not afraid to walk away from someone that just promise you heaven but puts you through hell without explaining why. Communication is everything. If you can't communicate, if the person is so afraid of truth, you can't show intimacy to that person. You can't connect with them. There's no use, okay? So you have to wait until the divine has developed them, or meet someone that's more developed already. Okay, so this is the past of the circumstance, person, or situation that you're the divine, and you have integration here. So integration is the second card for love in the major arcana. It's talking about when you are meeting the person that holds the key to your shadow. The person that can trigger your projections the best. The one that they are this, but you will see this, because with the communication, their way of the communication style, the way of behaving, they're going to trigger your fears, they're going to trigger your wounds. And why they are doing this is for integration and healing. And the snake here that bites its own tail is like the completion card, the world card, full circle. So you are supposed to meet your demons. It's like you meet a demon with another person, but it's really just your shadow, your fear. And when you learn to talk with the fear, if you're scared of snakes, talk with the snake. Scared of spiders, talk with the spider. Like someone that holds your destiny might be able to control you or will betray you, which these animals symbolize. So that you're not fearful of this anymore. So you're not fearful of betrayal anymore because you love yourself so much. If someone betrays you, there's just a ripple of your ocean. It's just, okay, so I'm sorry, we don't have any future together. You betrayed me. And so my journey is here and you're there and you're separating in love. And that is how strong you will become when you can go face to face with your worst fears and accept them and the vibration of pain without making it personal. It's not about you and you can't control the situation. So kind of don't mind whatever happens in a situation. Say, I don't mind what happens, and accept. I accept that this person is like this. I accept that this person can't talk with me. I accept that this person can't hear me. I accept. And eventually the energy that you were so scared of will have lost its power over you, and you won't be scared anymore, and you can go wherever in the world, have whatever experience, and you will never be scared again, because you will have this beautiful connection with the divine. You love yourself. You know that your soul is eternal. Your body will turn to ash one day. You have no control over this, and you don't mind. Okay, you are just here to play this game of Lila, of Maya, and you're doing it beautifully and learning so much in the process, becoming wiser and wiser for every day. So don't hold on to anything, but this is deep love and attraction. So it might be that you feel really attracted to someone that might not seem in a rational sense that good for you, but they have something to teach you. Maybe they will betray you, and so you will and you will care less in this situation, because you will not make it into a personal thing. You will see, okay, this is a person that's illoyal. It has nothing to do with me. Before, when you were little, you thought that, okay, my mother or my father did this to me because it was something wrong with me. But here, you're an adult, you learn that it's not about you. It was just that you were you were attracted to a person that has these same wounds, and they are not conscious enough to love you in the way that you need to be loved. So you just gracefully say bye-bye to that person. And this is the future. And here we have compromise in reverse. So I'm thinking you have a situation where someone wants to steal something from you, or there's an imbalance in a relationship. It might be that someone is over-functioning, giving all their energy to the relationship and making it work, and the other person doesn't do anything. They are not putting in the work. So if that's the case, it's your job to even the scores. Even if you risk the relationship, if you have been doing too much, step back. The other person needs to do the job, or the relationship is doomed anyway. If you apply yourself in a situation like this and do all these kind of things to keep the relationship together, you will be ending up with nothing, like no energy, no life force, no happiness. So don't do this. It's not worth it. You are worth all the love in the world. Don't ever conform. Don't compromise your love away. And with this card, it's about teaching people how to fish, not give them fish. Teach a person how to love. Don't just give them the love, okay? They might need to have love to survive from one day to another, but then you need to teach them about love, how love is, that you need to respect each other, be honest with one another, have each other's back, never ever betray each other. There's rules, like there's deal breakers. If they break any of these deals, you go back to being your entity and not the shared entity together with them in these two cards, but your entity. So you need to stand on your own two legs and be a grown-up in this situation and not sell yourself off short. And it might be that you are doing this to someone as well, Gemini, taking advantage of them while you don't really love them, but it feels nice and not alone and secure, but it's a betrayal nevertheless. So I'll read the completion card for you so you understand where you are on your journey. This is the most important card in this reading, affecting all the others. So someone else got a completion as well of the readings I've done up till now. I don't remember which one, but it might be that you are working together with this group of people. Here the last piece of a jigsaw puzzle is being put into its place, the position of the third eye, the place of inner perception. Even in the ever-changing flow of life, there are moments in which we come to a point of completion. In these moments, we are able to perceive the whole picture, the composite of all the small pieces that have occupied our attention for so long. In the finishing, we can either be in despair because we don't want the situation to come to an end, or we can be grateful and accepting of the fact that life is full of endings and new beginnings. Whatever has been absorbing your time and energy is now coming to an end. In completing it, you will be clearing the space for something new to begin. Use this internal interval to celebrate both the end of the old and the coming of the new. I'm not seeing like a breakup here. I'm just seeing that you stop conforming yourself. You just stop. You just start to listen to your intuition. Therefore, the third eye is put into place. So now you just align with yourself. You're not going to fight yourself anymore. Like the twins arguing inside of you. You just say, no, we are the same. We want the same thing. So this is us now. We are doing this. We feel like this. This is what we stand for. So whatever has been, yeah, okay, old and this is the way of Zen. Not to say things to their completion. This has to be understood. It's very important methodology. Not to say everything means to give an opportunity to the listener to complete it. All answers are incomplete. And I think this is what's going on here with this. When a person says something, I love you, you put so much other meaning into this. When this person says, I don't mean to be rude, you just immediately decide that they are rude. And they just wanted to, you know, calm the way for saying something that was important to them and that you needed to hear. but they didn't want you to get upset by it. But with just these words, the use of the words, you get upset, and they are rude. So we read in so much into what people says, and this is talking about very highly vibrating things where you kind of it's like Zen stories. You want to educate your principal, and you give them a stick, and they don't get it. Like, carry around this stick all the time. And then you give them a second stick, and they have 2 sticks. They carry around it all the time. And 3 sticks. You don't say what the sticks is all about. They carry around these 3 sticks all the time. Eventually they have 10 sticks. And they are sweaty, and they are tired, and they are a little bit pissed off. And they wonder, what on earth is the meaning with this? I'm carrying around this stick. And you ask, okay, so what's the meaning of these sticks? And the principal kind of rests and feel, okay, this is burden I'm carrying around. I'm carrying around my thoughts with me, my different problems, my burdens, and it's very heavy. And if I don't carry them, I will be much more happy. Whatever I can solve today, I solve today. And whatever is being able to be solved tomorrow, oh, great. I don't carry it around. I don't worry what will happen tomorrow. I live for today. So that's one thing. But here in this situation, you kind of need to have clear communication. You need to tell the other person what you actually see. So, okay, when you say this, it feels like you're rude. And they're saying, I really didn't want to be rude, but I see it's important for me to say these things to you because it seems like we misunderstand each other constantly. And I'm very scared that you will be angry in this situation. So you don't leave things to coincidence. If you want to have like spiritual growth and be with a Zen master, you might want to leave things. But here it's kind of the opposite for you, that you really need to communicate things and also see what you are reading into other people. If they say, I have missed you, what does that mean? Does that mean they want to be with you forever? Is this what you're reading in? You can build an illusion also, like a castle, illusionary castle. All answers are incomplete. The master has only given you a direction. By the time you reach the limit, you will know what is going to remain. This way, if somebody is trying to understand Zen intellectually, he will fail. It is not an answer to the question, but something more than the answer. It is indicating that the very reality, the Buddha nature, is not something far away. Your very consciousness is Buddha nature. Being awake, being aware. The I in I am, the watcher of your feelings, the watcher of your thoughts, the watcher of what the other person says or does. Your hearing, it's tools, it's not you. You are the watcher. You are consciousness. That's all I know you are, and that's all you can say that's true. You can't really say that the world is what it is. You can just say that you are aware of it being like this, but you don't know for sure because we don't really know what consciousness is. And where are you when you are sleeping? The Buddha nature, yes, it's not something far away. Your consciousness can witness these things which constitute the world. The world will end, but the mirror will remain, and then mirror nothing. So that is your end goal, or the universe end goal. It wants to explode into Big Bang, go out and experience all these things and come back to nothingness, inner peace. So your work towards inner peace is actually going to eventually destroy the world, make it into nothingness, but then it comes a new breath out and we experience all these things and a new breath in. So it's taking billions and billions of years every breath like this, but we are here to experience. It's a dance of life, and sometimes when we are in dreamless sleep, we are nowhere to be found, and then we are back into the core of universe, like the motherly womb, the nothingness, and then we expand and we go out and meet people, and we see ourselves through them because we are all the same. This other person is just another you, even though it can be so hard to understand them at times. So I will take a card for you from the Sacred Rebels Oracle card for the mid-month of July for Gemini. So it's 2 cards here, but I will take this Spirals of Manifestation. You also got what is already with you. I'm actually feeling that. So I will close my eyes and I will take this card. Yeah, okay, so it's spirits of manifestation. And the other is what is already with you. So I'm thinking this is like you have found your inner core, but it's something else here wants to come. You already know this with your consciousness. It's already achieved. And here we have number 18. The creative, rebellious path of love moves in spirals, is not linear. Sometimes our mind decides that the way forward is to take clear steps from one point to the next logical point. However, there is genius within that can guide us on an alternative route. If there is an unnecessary pothole or delay in the typical linear path of progression, and the curved loop in the path will be quicker, more fun, and more beautiful, then why not allow yourself to be guided to that path? This can happen through trust and wisdom rather than rigid adherence to what on the surface appears to be logical progression. You are in the midst of a spiral of manifestation. Something is coming into being, even if you think it is further away than ever before. So it might be that you fear that maybe you will be separate from your life partner, or things are not working out to plan. There's not going to be any marriage. There's not going to be any commitment. It might just be like a detour you're on. Something is coming into being, even if you think it's further away than ever before. How amazing it will seem when what you have been dreaming of falls into place. Suddenly, what you have been thinking of creating will plonk into your reality seemingly out of nowhere, because it was just around the bend, just around the corner, just out of view on the spiral of manifestation, and you could not see it coming. In truth, it was coming to you all along. This oracle has a message for you. Sometimes when we feel the furthest away from what we want, we are actually closer than ever before. Just one turn on the spiral loop of creation can see your manifestation taking root in the world. You must hold true to your fate and keep working on your progress. Forget about believing it when you are seeing it. Any old soul or young soul can do that. You are bigger, braver, more ancient soul. You have enough cuts path to believe it so that you can see it sooner, bigger and brighter. Do not give in to those who tell you it should have happened already or that you have failed. They are just suffering from lack of patience and understanding, as well as an arrogant assumption that their notion of timing is somehow superior to the greater divine timing at play in life. Be in goodwill with yourself and the universe. All is unfolding perfectly, whether you feel it right now or not. Perfect synchronicity are taking place in your life, and you may have started to notice it already. And it's the completion card here. So you are on your highest path, even though you feel that it's worrying and you are not feeling supported maybe by humans in your life. The divine is supporting you very truly. They are like walking very close with you right now, and you are working your miracles through them. This is very beautiful, and it's even if you are a front runner, so you can't see like in your immediate surrounding that you get any support. You are making the path that will create the support. So it's like you're healing the human heart here with your actions. So it's very, very beautiful. Okay, my dear Gemini, I want to welcome you to my, I want to invite you to my homepage, www.queenofcupstarot.se. And I also want to welcome you back to my August reading that I will perform in mid-July. So until then, I want you to take really, really good care. And bye-bye.